I'm Jared Chase with the Julie Moe and Jared Chase Group at Cascade Sotheby's. It is February of 22. Thank you for tuning in to this month's newsletter. So our inventory levels took another drop, down about 12% from last month. That leaves us with just 65 single-family homes under an acre in Bend. And actually looking back to February of 21, we had just 49 active listings at that time. So technically, our inventory levels are slightly better than they were a year ago, but still incredibly low. In fact, if you look at the absorption chart this month, there's less than 1 month of inventory at every price category across the board. It is not until we get over the $2 million price point that we have slightly more than a month of inventory there. So that leaves us with just 0.3 months of inventory overall. So as many predicted, we're seeing this big surge of buyer activity in the early onset of this year, and that is in direct correlation to the interest rate finally increasing. For a 30-year fixed mortgage, right now you're at about 3.7%. Now look back 20 years ago in 2002, the average mortgage rate then was about 6.5%, and if you look years previous to that, even much higher. So historically, 3.7% is extremely low. There's no doubt about that. But what we're up against now is we also have record high home prices. So as those prices have come up and now the interest rate is starting to push on buyers as well, that's really changing buying activity. And I think that's why we're seeing this big surge now. And many are predicting interest rate is going to go to 4% or slightly higher. So a lot of these buyers are trying to beat that potentially high interest rate. I think that's going to be really interesting to watch as that moves up, how quick it moves up, and what it does directly to our inventory levels. The Beacon appraisal report also came out, posted in January. The median home price in Bend was $675,000. This is just a slight drop from the $683 the previous month. We also had 171 units sell in January. That's slightly lower than what we expect to see in that month, but certainly nothing to be alarmed about. Meanwhile, Redmond reached an all-time high for its median home price. It's up to $467,000. So a $200,000 difference right now between Bend and Redmond. So as I said, we're seeing this big surge of home buying in the early part of spring here. I think that's going to lead into a red hot summer again, just like we've had the last 2 years. Inventory may start to improve as the interest rate comes up and it starts to slow buying power for some individuals. I will say, if you've been on the fence at all about buying or selling, maybe this market's very intimidating to you on the buying side or from the selling side. How do we replace this? What do we do from here? I'd love to have a conversation with you about it, to hear what you're trying to achieve and what your goals are. Maybe we can lay out some options and work together and ultimately get you to where you want to go. Well, thanks for taking the time to watch the video this month. I look forward to checking in with you next month.